Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope everybody's doing well out there today. Haven't done a new finds video for a while. Not that I've stopped buying, of course I'm buying all the time, but just haven't had the chance to sit down and actually make a video. So figured today's a good day as any. I just got back from digging into a bunch of thrift stores here in southern Maine and found a couple of things. I thought I'd show them. First thing off, this is a collection. Well, I don't buy a lot of box sets, but when I see this particular one, I'm always ready to grab it if the price is right. This is the Time of Life series of Giants of Jazz, and this one happens to be the great Art Tatum. I guess a lot of these came where like people had a subscription and they would come every month or every other month, and a lot of them never got listened to. This one looks like it's never been played. Comes with a little sheet about the thing. Comes with a really nice booklet. Great picture of the great Art Tatum. And, you know, it's like a 20-page booklet, 48-page booklet. It talks about each of the songs and about Art himself. So really nice. And here's the label, Time Life, Giants of Jazz. I have a couple of these, not a lot, but again, this was like $5, so I couldn't say no to it at that price. 3 LPs, the great Art Tatum, Giants of Jazz. There we go. It also has this really great, if I can get it out, nice little picture, suitable for framing. There you go. Art Tatum, Giants of Jazz. I think I have, let me see, I have Bessie Smith and Bix Beiderbecke in the same series. There's another one I found today. I was at this thrift store and they had maybe a dozen records or more, not a lot, and they were $1 each. So I found 3 records. And I went to the front. I said, I forgot. I had no cash with me. I said, can I put it on a debit card? She goes, well, $5 is a minimum. I said, fine. I'll spend $5 for 3 records. That's fine. One of the records I got was Wayne Shorter, Blue Note classic, recorded in 1965. It's on the Blue Note, the later Blue Note label. And it has Wayne Shorter on tenor sax, James Spaulding on alto, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, McCoy Tyner on piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Tony Williams on drums. So for $1.65, whatever, $1.66, can't go wrong with that. Wayne Shorter. Also picked up this other jazz compilation. It's just called Great Jazz. I think it's 1958. Mono Galaxy series. And this has Don Bayes, Ben Webster, Coleman Hawkins, Stan Getz. And it's on the Galaxy pink label. Haven't cleaned any of these yet. Haven't listened to any of them yet. They all need a really nice deep cleaning, which my cheap and cheerful spin clean will do a nice job on. Get these all cleaned up and give them all a spin later this week. Here's another jazz album I picked up, Ruby Braph and His Men, a hi-fi salute to Bunny Berrigan. Really like Ruby Braph's trumpet playing. There's Ruby. So again, couldn't let this go past me. It's on the basic RCA label, nothing special there. But yeah, Ruby Braph, tribute to Bunny Berrigan. And one more jazz album. Saw this today again. You know, I'm a jazz hound and I love my jazz piano playing. So grab this Roland Hannah. This is an album called Perugia, I guess, live at Montreux, 1974, in the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland. This is solo piano. He does Take the A Train, I Got It Bad, Ain't That Good, A Child Is Born, Whistle, some great stuff. 1975. Roland Hannah, solo piano. Here's one I picked up at Goodwill last week. I don't have any by this particular guy, but I have others in this type of music, and it's called Hawaiian Slack Key Guitar. This is Leonard Quan and his Slack Key Guitar. Tradewinds record, available only in Hawaii, but now available here in Maine. I have a couple of Slack Key Guitar albums. One of them has a Rycooter on it, playing with them. So I always say, good enough for Rycooter. It's certainly good enough for me. Tradewind Records. It sort of reminds me of John Fahey, Leo Kottke kind of guitar playing. Really great stuff. And if I can get this back in, it'd be even easier. Come on. There we go. And I, of course, love the label, the cover. Slack Key. Pretty cool. All right, there was a guy who was doing world music before the Buena Vista Social Club, before Paul Simon went to Africa, and his name was David Amram. And this is an album of music he put out in 1974, and it's called Amram Triple Concerto for Woodwind Brass Jazz Quintet and Orchestra, world premiere recording of exciting new sound spectacular. Pepper Adams plays with him on this. I got to see him, David Amram, probably 1974 in New York and Lower East Side. Gave a great show. I have a couple of his albums. I have an album of his is on RCA Red Seal. I have an album of his. He went to Cuba with Dizzy Gillespie and a bunch of musicians in the late 60s or early 60s and recorded a number of albums with some Cuban musicians. Really great stuff. David Amram. All right, how about a little rock and roll? How about some little NRBQ and Carl Perkins? This sort of it's not really NRBQ and Carl Perkins. It's Carl Perkins and NRBQ. They only play together on like 1, 2, 3 or 4 songs out of the whole album. They play together. The other ones are mostly just NRBQ or just Carl Perkins, which is fine, no problem there. But it's just sort of not truth in advertising, saying Carl Perkins and on the Columbia record. Because they do play together on some, but it's certainly, the whole album is not the two of them together. There's another NRBQ album I picked up, NRBQ at Yankee Stadium. This is from 1975. If you don't know what NRBQ is, it's New Rhythm and Blues Quartet. Here's one I picked up today. I knew nothing about it. I still haven't listened to it yet, but it really struck me as this kind of thing I like. And it's a band called the Hickoids. And from what I can gather, it's Cowpunk out of Austin, Texas. There they are. And it's on a label I never heard of, obviously, Matako Mazuri Records. Sounds Japanese, but they're out of Austin, Texas. And it came with the original insert. Pretty cool. The lyrics on the back, which I always like. So yeah, get this cleaned up and a little Cowpunk. Here's a guy, I have a number of his records. I saw him first, 1965, must have been. I was like 15, 16 years old. John Hammond. This is a record of his I'd never seen before. It's called Nobody But You. Love that cover. 1987 on Flying Fish Records. That's one of the labels that I always pick up whenever I see it. Flying Fish, Rounder, Kicking Mule, all these other small independent labels. I see stuff on them, I usually pick them up if the price is right. This is really clean. I'm a big John Hammond fan, so looking forward to cleaning this up and digging into that one. Here's another one by another artist where I've never seen this record. I have a number of his albums. I've seen him a number of times also, and that's David Bramberg. And this is his album called Sideman Serenade on Rounder Records from 1989. Rounder Records. Big David Bramberg fan, great musician, and a great guy. So there you go. Next one, the great Jackie Wilson. I have volume 1. This is volume 2. The Jackie Wilson story. Yeah, looking forward to digging into this. Before James Brown was the hardest working man in show business, Jackie Wilson was the hardest working man in show business. Worked so hard he had a stroke or a heart attack on stage and was in a coma for like 5-6 years before he passed away. But yeah, the great Jackie Wilson. And the last, not last, here's one that is a compilation. And I don't think it's from a particular movie, even though they make you think it is. Rock, and roll. Rockin' movie. It's a German pressing. No silent movie. Rock around the clock, big hit tunes. It's all singing, all swinging. It's all dancing. Here the kings are rock and roll. They are going to go, go, go. So you have Bill Haley doing Rock Around the Clock. The Platters doing The Great Pretender and It's Only You. Fats Domino doing I'm Walking and Blue Monday. Little Richard doing Tutti Frutti and The Girl Can't Help It. Jerry Lee Lewis doing High School Confidential. And it ends up with Dion doing Run Around Sue. So a nice, clean German pressing. It was never released in the United States as far as I can tell. Mercury is a Mercury German pressing. So just a cool little compilation of early rock and roll, which I love. And the last one, I guess it's a folky album. This was another one of that $3 record, $1 record, it cost like $1.65, whatever. And it's called Harvest Home from Galway to Boston. So I think it's a local record from up here. Jack Geary, Patsy Whalen, who I don't know. Antonio O'Riordan, bass and vocals. When I saw they do Orange Blossom Special and Hesitation Blues and Streets of London, I figured for $1.55, whatever it was, I can't say no to it. Pretty cool. And there's the label on, I don't know what it's called. Fish Tracks. Fish Tracks label. And last but not least, this was a Goodwill find the other day. I always grab an NXT by him if it's clean, and you don't see a lot, but the great Hank Williams, and this is First, Last, and Always. So obviously it's a posthumous album released after he passed away. I don't know any of these songs on here. There's No Room in My Heart, The Waltz of the Wind, With Tears in My Eyes, I Wish I Had a Nickel, The First Fall of Snow, California Zephyr. So again, looking forward to cleaning it up, giving it a spin on MGM label. So those are my new finds in the past couple of weeks. Not too shabby, some interesting stuff there. If you like what you saw, give me that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And keep digging, keep spinning, keep enjoying the music. And until next time, peace.